Hello, children. Welcome to yet another session of Geography, Class 10, the Climate chapter. And before we commence, a quick recap of what we have studied in our previous session. In our previous session, we were studying about the 4 seasons, and we had started with the hot, dry summer season, which prevails in India from March and until June. Now during this time, the vertical rays of the sun falls directly on the Tropic of Cancer, so it is very hot during this period of time. The temperatures are like 30 to 32 in South India, and as we move towards the north, the temperature increases and it is more than 40 degrees in northern India, which may even vary to 45 or maybe 48 degrees at places. It has been recorded. So that was the temperature, and due to this intense temperature, the pressure conditions over northern India also becomes low. So low pressure conditions prevail in northern India, and due to this, the storms and rainfall are prevalent during this time. Now about the local winds which are there. One of the local winds is the Loo, which originates from Rajasthan, the hot, dry, dusty wind which covers over the whole of northern India. Now due to this Loo, what happens? The temperature rises to between 45 degrees Celsius to 50 degrees Celsius. Now another local wind which is called the Kal Baisakhi. It is prevalent in West Bengal. Kal Baisakhi, as the name suggests in their local language, Kal means calamity. Baisak is the month of April, so calamity in the month of April. Though it gives respite to the scorching heat, but it is very destructive also. And in the meantime, it is useful for the crops like rice and jute which is grown there. Again, there is similar winds which is in Assam, and in their local language it is called Bardoli Chira. Now it is beneficial for the tea plantation. Now similar winds in South India also. So down south we find the mango showers which are prevalent in Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Mango showers help in the ripening of the mango. So these are pre-monsoon winds. Again, in Kerala and Karnataka we find the cherry blossoms, also called the blossom showers. It is beneficial for the ripening of the coffee berries. Okay children, I hope you will remember these local winds. And we had studied, I think we had studied all these local winds last time. We had started with the advancing monsoons, and we had learnt that because of the low pressure which is prevalent in northern India, the winds from the high pressure area which is in the Indian Ocean, they are earlier called the southeast trade winds, but as they cross the equator, because of the Coriolis force, they deflect towards this west. So they deflect rightwards, and now they are called the southwest monsoon winds. So this we had studied last time about the advancing monsoons. Now these monsoon winds, they are responsible for giving rainfall to major part of the nation. Now, about the monsoon winds. Now, we had studied last time that they strike the coast of Kerala on 1st June. And this is called the burst of the monsoons because it is accompanied by violent thunder and lightning. So heavy rainfall with violent thunder and lightning is called the burst of the monsoon. Okay. Now, apart from that, we had studied that there are two branches of the southwest monsoon winds. One is the Arabian Sea branch, the other one, the Bay of Bengal branch. And we had learnt that one branch of this Arabian Sea branch, as it strikes the coast of Kerala, and then it starts advancing further north. Now they are not allowed to move ahead because of the presence of the Sayadris. Sayadris are the western Ghats. Now these hills, they do not allow them to move further, and as such orographic rainfall occurs, heavy rainfall occurs in the windward side, while the other side of the mountain that gets less rainfall, and that is called the leeward side. So questions based on this are often asked, why Mumbai is getting more rainfall than Pune, and your answer is that Mumbai lies on the windward side whereas Pune lies on the leeward side. So children, always remember the windward and the leeward sides of the mountain. So this Arabian Sea branch, one branch is obstructed by the Western Ghats. The other branch again strikes, the second branch of the Arabian Sea strikes the north coast of Mumbai. Again, it is giving more rainfall in the windward side than the leeward side. Then the third branch strikes Saurashtra peninsula and the Kutch, and it passes over West Rajasthan and along the Aravallis, causing scanty rainfall. Okay children, you can see that the Aravallis are parallel to the monsoon winds. It does not obstruct the monsoon winds, and it let it pass because it's parallel to the monsoon winds. So Rajasthan, without getting much rainfall, it is not getting rainfall from the southwest monsoon winds, and the monsoon winds move forward towards the north. So there are three branches. One is striking the coast of Kerala, the other one of the Arabian Sea branch is striking the north of Mumbai, the third is moving towards the Kutch area and moving towards the north, Saurashtra and Kutch, without giving any rainfall. Okay, now this was the Arabian Sea branch. Next, the Bay of Bengal branch. Now about the Bay of Bengal branch, it is directed towards the coast of Myanmar and the part of southeast Bangladesh. However, owing to the presence of the Arankan hills along the coast of Myanmar, a large part of this branch of monsoon is deflected towards the Indian subcontinent. So firstly, it is striking the Arankan hills along the coast of Myanmar, but these hills, they strike these winds and they get deflected towards India. So these winds are getting deflected towards India, and towards India there are these hills which are the Garo Khasi hill region. Now the southwest monsoon winds get trapped in the Garo Khasi hill region, and after getting trapped in these Garo Khasi hill region, they give heavy rainfall in this region. The windward side gets more rainfall than the leeward side, and your Mawsynram and Cherrapunji, both receiving the highest rainfall in the world, are situated in the windward side of these Garo Khasi hill region, whereas Shillong is situated in the leeward side. So many often times what happens, it is asked in the question why Shillong is receiving less rainfall than Mawsynram, and your answer will be that Mawsynram lies in the windward side, whereas Shillong lies in the leeward side. Okay, so after getting heavy rainfall in this northeast region, so you must have noticed most of the time the northeast region is in floods. So after giving heavy rainfall in the northeast, now these winds are getting deflected towards the west. That is, they move towards the northern India. And many a times questions is asked, why is, they can select any city and ask questions, why is Kolkata receiving more rainfall than Delhi? And your answer to this will be, Kolkata comes first on the way of the Bay of Bengal branch of monsoon winds. As such, it sheds most of its moisture there, and by the time it reaches Delhi, it has less moisture content. Is that clear? So this is going to be your answer if such questions. So what happens is the moisture content starts getting lesser and lesser as the winds are moving towards the west. And by the time it reaches Rajasthan, it is devoid of any moisture. So two reasons why Rajasthan is not getting much rainfall. Firstly, that the Aravalis are parallel to the Arabian Sea branch of the monsoon winds, as such not giving rainfall. Second point, you can write that the Bay of Bengal branch, by the time it reaches Rajasthan, it is devoid of any moisture, and as such it does not give any rainfall. Okay children, one thing more which is often asked, let me discuss this also. Like they may ask why Chennai or the Coromandel coast is not receiving much rainfall by the summer monsoons, whereas heavy rainfall occurs on the western coast. Heavy rainfall occurs on the western coast, while the eastern coast gets less rainfall during the summer monsoons. So for this, your answer will be that in the western coast, the western Ghats obstruct the winds, causing heavy rainfall. Most of the moisture is shed in the western side of the western Ghats. By the time these winds reach the eastern side of the continent, the country, the coastal plains, it has less moisture content. And also another second point is that the Bay of Bengal branch is parallel to the Coromandel coast, hardly giving any rainfall there. So this was the Bay of Bengal branch causing rainfall in the entire nation. Firstly, that it is picking up moisture, it is striking the Arankan hills, getting deflected towards the Garo Khasi, getting entrapped in the Garo Khasi hill region, giving heavy rainfall in the Garo Khasi hill region, and then it is getting deflected towards the west, and the amount of rainfall becomes lesser and lesser towards the west. And by the time it reaches Rajasthan, it is devoid of any moisture. Okay, so this was the Bay of Bengal branch moving. After the Bay of Bengal branch, now a time comes, the southwest monsoon starts retreating. The third season is the retreating monsoon season. Now the southwest monsoon starts retreating from the northern India in early October. So by October, the sun's rays, where it is on 23rd September, it is on the equator because it is the autumnal equinox, and by October it is further south. So the land also starts cooling by October, so hence the months of October and November are known as retreating monsoons. Now during this time the monsoon starts retreating. The reason of this retreat is that the monsoon trough of low pressure over the Ganga plains becomes weaker due to the apparent southward movement of the sun. So the low pressure trough is gradually replaced by the high pressure, and the wind starts retreating, And Kerala is the last state after which the monsoon winds retreat. So children, remember that Kerala is the first, it has the longest monsoon period as it is the first to receive the monsoon winds and also the last to receive the monsoon winds. Okay? Now we are coming in the month of October. Now the combination of high temperature and humidity, it gives rise to an oppressive weather, and this is called the October heat. Now the October heat, children, so it is, if it's important, and questions are asked on the October heat. So remember that the October heat is marked by clear cloudless sky, as you can see in the picture, high temperature and high humidity is there, and it has a sultry and oppressive weather, and this is referred to as the October heat. Now this period is supposed to be the transition period between the hot rainy season and the cold dry seasons, and by the end of October and the beginning of November, the weather conditions prevail over the rest of the subcontinent. So before we begin with the northeast, the next season, it is that one other thing that prevails during this retreating monsoon is the tropical cyclones. Now the low pressure conditions which are transferred to the center of Bay of Bengal by the early November. Now what happens is that cyclonic depressions originate over the Andaman Sea, and some cyclonic depressions, they manage to cross. You can see here the cyclonic depression. Now it is near to this Andaman Sea, and it manages to cross the eastern coast of southern peninsula, resulting in heavy and widespread rains in the coast of Tamil Nadu and the parts of Odisha. Now these cyclonic storms are very, very destructive, cause a lot of havoc and rain. So this is known as the tropical cyclones and originating in near to the Andaman Sea, as you can see. So I hope you will remember these points that's been taught in today's session. So apart from these tropical cyclones, just a little bit more, that very interesting thing that the cyclones are named. You must have heard about the different names that recently we had a very destructive cyclone which was called Fani, and then recently Oki, and different names are given to these cyclones. Now, these cyclones, there are 8 such countries around the Indian Oceans which are naming the cyclones, and every one gets its own turn of naming the cyclones. There is a list of such names. Recently, we had the Fani, Oki. Then we must have heard about these, you must have heard about Pakistan naming, and they had named it Bulbul, Varda, Titli. So different, there are these lists, and 8 these countries, one by one they get a chance to name these cyclones. Okay, to children, please read the chapter properly. Note down the points. A little confusing, no doubt, but it has to be done thoroughly. So I would suggest you stay at home and stay safe, and goodbye till then.